Go district. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, ball. And I bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. It's the Go district, y'all. I ball, cause I bleed. Hey, bleeding, I ball. Defeated the odds, didn't see him at all. JD in the pods, I needed it all. I bleeded a lie. You bleeded a lie, not bleeded a lie. And that's what I go do. Facts, let me show you. Happen to know dudes. Drafting, they don't do bad and they don't lose. Make you wanna bleed. It's the Go District, boys giving you the business and no gimmicks. The best ball drafts got me feeling like it's Christmas. Then it's Christmas all of a sudden, and these riches came from nothing. And I got this all from loving a district. See, I just drafted, forget it. I laugh at the critics, they mad at the digits. I clap back by listening. See, BALLiN ain't a problem if you kick it with them off. And I refresh the feed till autumn, then I bleed, go.
What is up, Fantasyland?
What an intro. God,
dude, Gabe is the man. Like I was rocking in the background there. I was pumped. That just got me pumped. I was already pumped for this, but now I'm even more pumped after Gabe just rocked the house. So shout out to Gabe, FF Man Bun, for the sick lyrics. Andrew, man, the night is finally here. We've had the schedule for a bit. We've had it planned. You rocked some trains, planes, and automobiles today. To get, to make it. So we appreciate that.
I was drafting today, whether it was from Dallas or Jacksonville. So,
just depending on where. Yeah. So yeah, man, this is a big one. It's the 125 buy-in, 25,000 for first, over $100,000 in prizes, and it's the never too early best ball tourney on the FFPC. Our friends over at the FFPC, myffpc.com. The draft literally start right now. Buzzer just went off. We're in the 8th spot, Andrew, which we both kind of had the same approach to these. It's like, give me any spot, just let me draft. I don't really care. But I kind of like, being kind of not at the end, not in the middle, No,
agreed. And then JD, 2 housekeeping things as we get started. One, we got the draft. I think we may have to add it to the screen whenever you're ready. Draft boards, you can follow along. If you're listening on the podcast, which is YouTube quickly.
There it is. Is there any way to make that bigger? Maybe zoom it.
Zoom.
There you go. There.
You got the zoom here? This is good.
Keep going because it makes the names bigger. Perfect. That's good.
We like that.
Let us know in the chat if you guys are watching. We want to make sure you guys can see it. And if you're just listening, make sure you sign up to the channel so you guys can watch. So we're coming up in the first spot. I like all 3 names you've got listed there. I'm fine with any of them. I think I've done. What did Dan? No, I think Dan and I start. Anyways, he's gone. Anyways, I was thinking Kelsey. But Dan and I did one of these. We started with, I think, Henry, which is not someone I picking off in this year, but Dan's a fan, so we started that way.
Yeah, I'll since we're 2 picks away, it's sort of like I've got 2 guys. And if we don't get those 2 guys,
I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, if we don't get those 2 guys, I think it's going to send us in at least my first tailspin because it's kind of like wide open here for what I think is potentially next. So Jamar Chase just went. So I think that we were interested in Kelsey, the Jamar Chase.
You are on the clock.
And there we go. All 3 were right.
I knew that was going to happen. I'm already spinning. All right.
I think it was obvious one of those 3, if they were there at 8, it was going to be Kelsey, Chase, or Jefferson. I think that was easy. All right.
Yeah.
JD, on the clock minute. Where are you thinking now since our top picks are off the board?
I could go. I'm going to use numbers here. Just I could go 1 just because I like going early there so that I can focus later and go thin at that position.
Yep.
And then number 3, I don't mind.
No, let's go number 1, JD. So number 1's a running back. Let's go ahead and draft them if you're good with that.
Let's take Najee Harris. Man, had a great season. I know there's question marks in Pittsburgh, but what I'm referring to was kind of being top heavy at the position so that I can go light, meaning 4 spots maybe. That way I can leave a lot more spots for receiver position, which is what I like
to hear, JD. That's music to my ears.
Yes, sir. What's your general approach? What are you liking like these days? Because I know you do a lot of drafts. The world that listens knows your love for the receiver position.
Yeah. I had a really, so it was interesting. We can talk about it a little bit here. You might want to do it further on the wrap of number 2, but man, I love going wide receiver heavy. And I think that what you're going to really help reel me in on, right? Because I like these collabs is you're going to be able to say, no, Andrew, it's time to pivot back to a running back.
Tap your hand.
That's right. Or it's even time to do it, with this first pick with Najee Harris, which I love. What I get myself into trouble with, JD, right, is in the best balls, knowing when to bail on the wide receivers. Because I don't know if you saw in an early redraft, I did it I think it was round 11 when I took my first running back.
Yeah.
And that works, I think, with redraft because I can make up for it with Fab in September.
Yeah, totally.
But in these best balls, when I get too crazy with the wide receivers, it's just set and forget it, right? So there's no coming back from dead spots and the running backs. So,
see, all right,
on the board.
So for me, I mean, it's relevant to our pick that's coming up. There's 2 picks. We got 3 till we get on the clock here.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to keep stuff simple when I'm doing my best balls, just strategies that have proven, whether it's through RotoViz articles or whatever, just my experience. But, simple stuff. Like if I'm attacking a position early, I rather get less and be thinner at that position, but top heavy, and then build depth at the other position. So something like this, like a slim, for example, like quarterback position, I rather take 2 guys a bit earlier, like maybe have one of the top tier or 2, and then one in the mid tiers or something as your 2. And then that way I don't necessarily feel like I need a third guy, and I can again add another receiver. All right, where are we at? I see your names. That first name is really tasty. I mean, it's always hard for me to pass on him.
It is.
Let's see.
Yeah, I know. I think. And by the way, JD, one nonsense joke. It looks like you're doing a lot of foreign policy and diplomatic relations in the YouTube channel.
I know we've got some Ukraine-Russian action going. Not to make light of the situation. Yeah, and one reason I was excited for this was just all the negativity going on right now in the world is just this, and that's why I said tweeting this out today is come join us for a little distraction. Doing this with you, Andrew, having a beer, drafting a nice big tourney like this on the FFPC, my favorite site. I mean, it's just, it doesn't get better than this. You know what I mean? As a distraction.
Yeah.
You are on the clock.
Okay. So the guy in front of us took Javonte. I like that high upside pick. So JD, I don't think we're going to get either of these 2 guys. Can we talk about for 10 seconds?
Yeah, totally.
You said, I think in the slims, I think the other thing too is attacking the tight end early.
100%.
So Andrews is gone. I think,
and I like that 3.
Okay. Do you like? Oh, hold on, we're not going to get him. I don't think so. To me, it's between AJ Brown and Kyle Pitts. And
yeah, that's. Oh yeah, we're on the clock. Sorry, that's what I meant. That's what I meant by 3. It's totally between those 2 for me.
Okay, so while I like wide receiver starts, I wonder if taking Pitts here allows us just to open that board up more.
I've been doing Pitts or Andrews around this range in the 2 and the 3, wherever that works.
So 15 seconds, you want to do Pitts or AJ Brown? I'll kind of leave it to you.
Let's mix it up, man. I just feel like I grab AJ Brown everywhere, so I don't mind doing something a little different if you want.
Okay, so I grabbed Pitts there.
Nice.
Yeah, and I like that, right? Because now I think that dead zones are good buzzwords here, right? We're not going to have to be worried about any of the tight end dead zones for quite some time. Now we can really just maybe hammer the wide receivers and a quarterback or whatever because we've got our tight end 1 on the board.
Totally. I love hitting these skinnier position early just so that I can kind of move on. But I also like hitting these younger players that have room to grow beyond expectations, and what we've seen from them already, especially Pitts going into the second year, Harris again with the question. I mean, both offenses have questions, but both have serious upside, which I love with those 2 first picks.
Yeah. I love the 2 second-year players there, JD.
Totally. And, that might be the whole ageism thing. But again, if there's a position I'm an ageist, it's definitely running back. So I love the Harris pick. Getting him off. I mean, the season he had, I don't see, again, with questions are there at quarterback, but I mean, you still have Tomlin there. You still have, the pieces there in that offense to distract. Hopefully, Are all three back? No, Juju's gone. Deontay and what's Washington's situation? Do you know in Pittsburgh?
No, but you know what? I'm going to do my best Dan impression, and I'm going to look.
Yeah. That's usually I go to Dan for the contract stuff.
Yeah.
So there are a few guys. They might even be. Listen, I know Eric. Shout out to Eric the Shiva. He's in here. He signed up as soon as he saw your tweet. I think that we were doing this tonight, and a few guys I recognize. Taco Core. I think he's in one of my dynasties.
Yeah, peanut punch as well.
Yes, he's in every draft. I don't think he's not in the draft. Gambit,
of course, Triple H,
Gambit. I don't know that Uber one. I don't know. That's a new one for me.
Yeah.
Uber Night or something. So we started off. We're closing in towards the end of the second. We started off with Najee Harris in the 8th spot, and then coming back around the second with Kyle Pitts. Tight end premium. This is only 20 rounds. It is a slim compared to the 28 round deep that you can also find on the FFPC, which are fun, but also include kicker and defense, which we don't find in this tournament.
And they actually added 2 spots to this tournament from last year's 18 slots last year, 20 this year. And I want to get into it later, JD, because I think you were sharing some really cool stuff on the win rates, the passing rates in the tournament for 2 quarterbacks versus 3 quarterbacks, and whether that will change with the 2 extra slots. So I think when we start to debate kind of those middle late rounds as to whether third quarterback makes sense or another pick, will be great to get into that conversation then.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if that changes anything. How that changes for you when like you said, the quarterback is 1. We saw those win rates, but other positions, does it really affect how you're doing this, or is it just adding maybe depth at those positions that you like to be deep in?
That's right. Yep. Where do you think we're about to make the wrap in the 3rd round? Where do you think Kyle Pitts' ADP settles? Do you think early 2nd is about where it's going to settle? Meaning, we took him here in late February. Like, did we get good value, bad value, or neutral value when it compared to like where you think his ADP will be by September?
I think it's probably about where it is. I think unless something in that offense changes in a positive note, let's say in the draft they pick up a big player, or I don't know, maybe the quarterback situation changes. I don't have a problem with Ryan, but just something that maybe gets his value, because you got to think, like, from what we saw last year from Pitts, even me, being I'm not drafting Pitts as a rookie, I still find you could have probably got him at a value later, during the season, versus, what people paid for him. However, he did produce really nicely as a rookie. You got to see that him and Gage, like even Russell Gage is a guy that I've just been like grabbing in best balls, because you talk about narrow target trees. I mean, who else is there other than those 2? And even if they bring in a rookie or, another target there, or someone to take some targets, those 2 are still going to get monster volume, in my opinion. Who knows what happens with Ridley? I have a feeling they're going to move him from what it seems. But all right, we're coming up, dude. 3 picks. Yeah,
3 picks. The guy that we had a total miscommunication last year on T. Higgins. We're not going to be able to name our name the podcast. We could have had him twice or whatever. So, but
love both the names you put on there. Not that we're going to go to this position, but Dobbins is a guy that I definitely like in this range, and the other guy above him.
Yeah, agreed.
This guy Yosemite keeps sniping. Let's see if he can see with his X-ray visions on our little queue. No,
he went to George Kittle. What do you think about name number 1 in the queue?
I love name number 1.
Okay, so we're on the clock, so we can talk. So DJ Moore is number 1 in the queue for us.
Yeah,
I say that with the confidence. If we don't take him, I don't think he makes it back to us.
He does. I don't think either one of these guys make him back to us.
Okay. So do you want to go wide receiver or running back?
Put it this way. What are we planning on the way back? And not that we want to express that, but that's kind of the thought process for me here.
Well, to me, I'd say probably, if we go wide receiver, fourth round, I say wide receiver probably regardless of what we do, and especially if we go running back here.
Okay. So we're not thinking like QB or anything yet. We're okay.
You want to make a pick here? You want to go player number 1 in the queue, or?
Yeah, I think that's the move.
Do it with DJ Moore. All right.
Yep.
Yep. Do you think any of the players that you were thinking about, JD, are going to be there on the wrap? Should we be relatively quiet to it? Yeah, maybe. You're thinking maybe there's a chance.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because right now I'm depending on your draft board, and to me it's like a mini board because I've got it on. Look at Eric. Eric in the chat. He's Eric the Shiva is also in this draft. He's in the. Where is he? I can't even see. That's how small it is for me.
I think he's number 5. Ugh.
Tell me the players. I'll tell you if that's him. Yeah, that looks like an Eric.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an Eric roster. Yep, definitely. AJ Brown, Lamb. Jose Pena. Shout out to Jose. Thanks for joining us, guys, in the chat.
Love it.
Buddy from Ukraine's getting blocked. Sorry for your. See, now I can't even block him. There you go. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm making that decision there. Like on that turn was just kind of, if there's one position, again, just keeping it simple. If there's 1 or 2 guys in one position, but there's like 6 from the other position, then, I'm more likely to take the one of the 2 guys from the slimmer position. But
And I think that we probably made a good decision there, JD, structurally, because I was looking at the board, right? Keenan Allen goes, Deontay Johnson goes. Yeah. Presumably DJ Moore would have gone as well. So I just think that the wide receivers that we'd want to be a presumed wide receiver number 1, I think starts to really dry up there.
For me, there's one cheat code, and I'll let you know once we get past this range.
Okay.
There's one cheat code that I find in the underdog drafts that I've been doing, and we've got some news with them that we'll be announcing maybe tonight, if not for sure next week. But there's one guy. Maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong here, but we'll see once we. So we got 2 picks away right now. So far we've got Najee Harris, Kyle Pitts, and DJ Moore.
Yeah,
so the last one you put, that's the guy I'm talking about.
Number 5.
Yeah, because to me, that's a guy. If he can be your number 1 and you're comfortable with it, but look how low he's going. Right? And he kind of provides safety for the guy we took first in that position.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean by safety?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think. Well, I mean, ideally, in my rose-colored glasses version of his 2022 season, I'm thinking he provides me a really high floor, but also the ability to go for that ceiling too.
Exactly, and he's got the whole out of sight, out of mind type of thing going on right now. The injury thing going on.
I like thinking that West Coast is trying to read the cryptic. I don't even think we're that cryptic, JD. I think we're just two idiots trying to dance around a topic, and he's trying to get our read.
Exactly. Well, like I told you, man, I'm when I do these, I barely look at my opponents. If I really can't make a decision, I might look left or right to see if it affects my opponent. But go ahead.
On the clock. Not to interrupt. We're on the clock, JD.
Yeah.
So do you want to go running back? I think quarterback is interesting. Patrick Mahomes. And then we've got a couple of wide receiver options. One of the guys that we were just talking about. So where's your head at? I know we've got 30 seconds now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Mahomes here as the QB3, but because we went Pitts at 2, I don't mind maybe waiting for the next wraparound to see if we can get some value. There's only 2 quarterbacks off the board. There's still like for me that first tier, there's a handful of guys.
Okay, so wide receiver or 15 seconds.
Yeah. If you don't want 1, then I would go with 5.
Let's go 5 then.
Okay.
I'm gonna draft him and you talk about him.
Okay. Yeah. Like for me, Chris Godwin is kind of the cheat code in drafts right now. If you start running back heavy or you know, whatever you start in those first rounds, you're comfortable if Chris Godwin is your number 1. in my opinion.
Yep.
No matter where he goes in free agency, if they're gonna invest, whatever team that is, he will be the focus of the offense. He's gonna be a big part of it. He's a beast, man. Thank you, Joey. Joey Brown is one of the best dudes out there in fantasy land. Shout out to him. And for me, I just like every time I look down the list and I see Godwin where he's going in these drafts, it just, for me, it's a no-brainer. It's kind of like last year whenever I saw Baltimore players, whether it was Lamar, Andrews, just the value those guys were offering. Too bad Dobbins got hurt. And even he's offering nice value this year coming off that injury.
Yeah. So, hey, not nonsense detour, JD. What are you drinking tonight?
So when I do these, we don't want to get too nuts, too crazy. Can you guys see? Where's my? Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can. So this is actually one of my new favorites. I love the art on it. It's a lighter beer, but it's West Coasty. Like it's got some citrus to it.
Nice.
It's Any Day Light IPA. So it's like a 4.5, I think. It's really tasty, man. It's great. So, it keeps it a little light, keeps it fun. How about you, man?
No, I went with a double IPA, 8%.
Oh, dirty.
You're gonna have to carry the team in rounds. 16?
I like it. Well, that's why I kept it light, because I knew I was on with Andrew. See, if I was on with Dan, I'd be drinking the double IPAs right now.
Okay, yeah. You got the brains and the looks. I'm just here for the look.
I love it.
This is good. So obviously it's because of us, JD, and not just because of the way the draft's going. But some of the guys that we talked about, I think literally the four guys so we had five guys in the queue, and once we started the Godwin, then Patrick Mahomes, who was in our queue, Elijah Moore in our queue, J.K. Dobbins in the queue, and Terry McLaurin in our queue, all went. So we're I don't know if that's just like the way these drafts are, or obviously we're trendsetters here.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's face it. It's harder and harder in these draft rooms. You know what I mean? Like, especially this time of year, most guys you're drafting with are probably more on top of it, especially end of February. They're probably paying a bit more attention than like when you're drafting in August. So the value falls are going to be less, but I think it just becomes now, dancing around what's to come this offseason, where you see guys moving up the ADP and the draft boards throughout the summer, and where you can grab that value. As we get in farther into this draft, I'm sure names will come up where it's, there's already like, AJ Brown, like some of these guys are just every draft, Chris Godwin, we just talked about, J.K. Dobbins. These are guys that are going 3, 4, 5, and you can start other positions ahead of them and then start that position there. And it just gives you such a strength right off the bat. Because these guys are just, like I said, they're out of sight, out of mind. They've got the injuries that people worry about. They've got question marks about guys, Godwin, where he's going to be. And if you can kind of pick through that and dance around it, and follow those same rules that make you successful in best ball, I think I love drafting this time of year. I took a bit of a break the last couple of weeks just because life got in the way, but that's another reason I was pumped for tonight. But I mean, yeah, I think that especially with the rookies involved now, people poo-pooing the rookie class. There's value, man. There's value, throughout these drafts.
What's interesting? I completely agree with what you said, JD. What's interesting is the Darnell Mooney pick by Team One. Noted sharp, noted grinder. I love it because I want to see his ADP rise because I'd like to move him in Dynasty.
I actually really like that roster.
He's interesting to me because I just wonder if he's less boom and more like just like a floor play. So I'm actually, it's piqued my interest that, Team One, who I respect their gameplay and their grind really well, that, him kind of pushing the draft board here in late February. That has piqued my interest. So maybe I got to think about that a little bit more.
Yeah, let me.
Because I was ready to sell Darnell Mooney for like a random second round pick.
No, man, I bought him. No. I bought him at the end of the season. I can't remember. I think I told you. I think it was like a second or something.
Yeah.
It was one of these where like he's not someone that was really on my radar that I was really. But then, like you look at him last year, he had 8 top 24 weeks, 4 top 12 weeks out of 17.
Yeah.
He kind of took over. Like, people were waiting for A-Rob on a weekly basis. And, especially like you like to see stuff happen towards the end of the year or the second half of the year, guys like this, right? That you're kind of investing on what you think can come of it. It's nice to see the signs at the end of the year. And he scored, almost 20 points in week 16 and then 24.6 in week 18.
Yeah.
So, these St. Brown's, another guy that the more I looked into him, wasn't a guy that was on my radar, but then you look at how he finished off the season and what's changing in Detroit. What are they going to do? Yeah, maybe they draft a rookie, but it doesn't mean that day one, Buddy comes in and, all right, talk to me.
All right. I got one player that's a clear smash for me if he's there. He's the number one player in the queue.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
What's up?
No, I don't hate that at all. I love that player, especially best ball. Okay.
Is that just like the obvious pick? And then he'll obviously be sniped here and then we'll have to scramble a little bit.
I honestly like every single guy that you put in there. And that's why I knew tonight would be like, let's grab drinks. Cause I knew it's not like we'd be tonight's more about like the strategy and the roster construction and drafting this time of year and, talking about individual players. But I knew we wouldn't be arguing about players too much.
Oh, this is good. So we've had a little bit of running back run, 5 out of the last 6. JD, we had number one player of the queue, Devonta Smith, another second-year player. Is just an obvious smash, and we just draft and move on with the draft continue?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. The number 6 that you have there is another kind of guy that I think is sneaky. But again, I've been drafting him in every draft, so I'm perfectly fine. I like the Smith call. Let's go Smith.
Let's do Smith. Okay, good. Yeah. So I think. Look, we let Mahomes go. He got taken, but then there's not been a single quarterback. So I think the read. So going back to like our question in round 4, right? Godwin versus Mahomes versus call it Dobbins. There, I think we made the right read on not having to push the quarterback so early. And I think we're happier having 3 wide receivers through 5 as opposed to 2 through 5.
Yeah, as much as I don't like waiting too long, I don't want to be like one of the first. Yeah, at some of these positions, and quarterback is one of them. I rather, like I said, wait for the falling value in those top tiers. And it might not happen. There's drafts where you're sitting there and you're like, how the hell are we at QB 9 already? And right. It's like a 1 QB. So for me, QB, it's always, I go with the flow. I have my idea of what I want to do and that kind of thing. But every draft I find is different when it comes to QB, whether it's 1 QB or super flex.
Yeah. And one interesting thing, and I wish I was better at math and less good at anecdotes and just thoughts. But this is a never too early tournament, right? We don't know the bye weeks when we're doing this draft. So I wonder, we were talking a little bit, and I don't want to quite go into the study yet because it probably makes sense more for the middle rounds, JD. But 2 quarterbacks versus 3, does it make sense to go 3 quarterbacks because you might have more of a bye week risk? And that's just like a question. Like I don't know, or are we not thinking about that correctly? Because
so this is how I answer that question, and this is always my answer to these. Like, you're telling a story, right?
Yeah.
So if you invest early enough at a position, and that's why I was saying I kind of almost rather invest a bit earlier and have a slimmer roster build at that position, just because you're telling a story, and that story needs to hit at every point. There's no wiggle room. In a tournament like this, the story you tell in your draft has to literally hit at every point. So if you start in a 20-man roster, if you start drafting handcuffs for your running backs and, a third this and a fourth that, like at quarterback I'm talking about, I think you're taking away your upside, and you definitely need. You saw the tweet or no? That's right. What was it? That 1 QB. 1 QB was like 28% moving as 2 out of 7 teams.
Yeah.
Which again is not a big sample size, but it just goes to show you. And then the second was obviously 2 QB. So your story needs to hit. And for me, if my story is hitting the way I build my rosters, especially in a slimmer build, I don't need a third quarterback. I might be wrong. Look, if somebody's listening or you guys in the chat, please, give us your thoughts. And, RotoViz, like I said, not that they sponsor us or anything, but their best ball material is awesome.
Yeah.
So all right.
Team 10 win a second quarterback already. I guess they weren't weren't listening to you, JD.
No, I think you're but you're seeing that a lot. RotoViz just had an article about like maybe it's worth you investing a little earlier on your second quarterback, and I noticed it in drafts before I saw the article, and then I'm like, oh, that makes sense,
Meaning like clear the deck from the position, like go ahead and get rid of the position. That way, you're not taking another one the rest of the time.
Exactly. They don't.
I think that the Dak Prescott pick there was interesting. I don't know if Team 9 goes quarterback or not, but they did go Burrow. I would have said JD. It was a really obvious pick to me to go Burrow if he was there here in the 6th round. I don't see an obvious pick now, so I'd say I'm back to probably wide receiver here.
I was just looking at the same thing.
I actually just added another 5th option there, who I think is potentially.
I don't see it yet, but I have a feeling it's the same guy that I have my arrow on. I don't see it.
Okay, it's running back. Well,
yeah.
I don't.
And it rhymes with Ipopora.
No, what? No. Oh yeah. Yes. So
yeah, another guy I draft everywhere as my RB2.
15 seconds. We didn't plan for this one. You have a wide receiver choice or Michael Carter?
Yeah, I'm good either way. I'm good with the first guy you have in the queue or him. Actually, I'm good with any of those guys in the queue or him.
I panicked.
Who'd you take?
I don't.
Nobody. Renfro. Nope. Ayuk. Wow, that was fucking out of left field.
It was. Sorry, JD.
Why are you sorry, dude? That's our wide receiver 4. Ayuk is awesome going into next year, man. Come on.
I just took a huge sip thinking about that draft.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with it because, like I told you, Michael Carter, I love him as my RB2, but man, I got like underdog. I think he's my RB2 in
almost every draft. Yeah. That was funny. That was good. That was good panic, JD.
Oh, dude, I have those all the time on. It's
so good.
It's you're like, okay, I'll just let faith take over.
The Renfro thing was interesting. Somebody that we respect a lot, Danny Mueller, who's I think has been on the Go District what in January, right?
Yeah.
He took Renfro in the KFFSC draft that we did on Sunday. He took him as his wide receiver number 1 in the 4th round. And again, the things that make me go, I think it's probably a little early for me. I don't know if I love that. But he's somebody interesting because I think everyone's in on like the Josh McDaniels, like, oh, he's just going to pepper him in like the Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, whatever role there. So that's, Renfro's an interesting one. You really got to play out, again, like your story thing, JD. You really got to play out a story where it's like, no, he is absolutely going to get an ungodly number of targets and he's going to make the best of them. And I don't know if I totally see the ceiling there.
I'm trying to find Dwayne McFarland's tweet that he put out earlier, and I think I found it here. I kind of retweeted it with hot take. There it is. So Dwayne McFarland put out a tweet. Guys, follow Dwayne McFarland. Guys, a must follow. He's a friend of the show. Josh McDaniel finds a way to keep guys that might just play slot wide receiver on many teams on the field. Jacoby Myers, Julian Edelman, and Wes Welker all eclipsed 90% routes per drop back under McDaniel. Hunter Renfrew will set a new career high in 2022, 78% in 2021, 5th ADP. So a lot of smart, sharp dudes are on Renfrew. I personally, coming out of the season, was thinking, okay, Waller was injured. Like so many reasons why, again, the narrow target tree, but then, you see these sharps that are kind of all over it and they're still looking for growth out of him. And look, I mean, it sounds stupid, but what's that show that they do that the Raiders were on?
Hard Knocks.
Yeah. Hard Knocks. I mean, that dude he just looks like that guy, like that guy that just all that guy does is football. He's a nice guy. Everyone loves him. The quarterback, he's got a great rapport with Carr. And he's performed every time he's had the ball. I mean, why would they not keep feeding him, right? So again, the questions are there. McFarland kind of takes away some with this tweet. The reason I bring it up is it kind of takes away some of that uncertainty that you're wondering, like, how's this offense going to change? Well, this is one pretty good possibility that we see with the guy that was highlighted last season. So maybe there is no reason to kind of shy off of him, But again, it's people are going to have different thoughts on Renfrew. He's not necessarily everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah. No, it's like one of those like unsexy picks, but somehow is just, maybe he's got that Julian Edelman 3rd, 4th round value by the time we get to September. I mean, that's the way I like to think about these things is like, am I the market correction?
Yeah.
Or am I ahead of the market? So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, look at like Debo. I'm going to have like 0 Debo this year,
right.
in these drafts, whereas last year is like easy money.
Okay. So JD, I made an absolute mess of our queue.
I know. I see it there. Well, for me, it's super easy. It's number 3.
Okay. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Well, so yep. I can't. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, don't say anything because.
I had a perspective there. Now, one thought once we get on the clock, I was looking at what's happened in the 9, 10, 11, 12 spot about whether with the timing of the pick, JD, in terms of whether that's a 7th round pick or an 8th round pick.
100%, but it's too good to pass up.
Okay. All right.
Especially in a tournament like this for me.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'll kind of tell you why after we
get
actually we could do 2 things. Yeah. Now that I just noticed, look at number 7.
Yep.
Could be a backup.
Ooh, hold on. Here we go.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. I think both are clear.
And with what you just said with the positions after us, there's a really good chance one, if not both, come back to us.
Well, I've made some bad bets in my lifetime, JD.
Oh, he's gone. So we might have to go 5 here.
Yeah, let me look.
Which I kind of like as well.
I think that we'd have to do it.
Yeah, do 5. I like it.
And sadly, I do think that this is a situation, JD, where we allow the room to dictate a pick a little bit.
Yeah,
I think that you don't want to be left in the cold. So I think you're not necessarily worried about people sniping your picks, but I think you have to understand what's happening in the room around it. I think that you kind of alluded to it with, is this a quarterback crazy draft? Is it not? I think that just to say it now, we're on the clock. Throwbacks took Trey Lance. We had opened Trey Lance up with my panic pick of Brandon Ayuk. But we also have on the board Jalen Hurts available to us. For
me, these are the 2 last guys I want as my QB1.
Yep.
That's why I said like we have to take Trey Lance if he falls.
Yep.
If not, we have Hurts as a backup.
So I'll keep the draft moving, JD. Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, just take him.
Yep. And we got Hurts and Devonta Smith. So like I said, we kind of panicked with the Ayuk, or I panicked, not to put JD in that. But Trey Lance, that opened the Trey Lance up a little bit, which would have been really nice to have back. That would have been really fun. And JD, and we were alluding to 9, 10, 11, 12. There's a lot of quarterbacks back behind there, but what we don't want is for the quarterback run to continue and be left in the cold without Jalen Hurts from a stack and from the last of the potential QB1s or high upside QB1s. Well, that's was QB 13 here in round 7, so I don't think that's that bad, JD.
No, I like that. And then you look at the next. I mean, there like our 3, number 3 there. Mm-hmm. I think he's a value this year just because of just the stink that's on his name right now from last season. He would have been he's like my last resort. The guy after him, I don't touch. I have 0 shares. I don't touch. I don't want any part of it. I don't really care what happens.
Out. See ya.
Yeah.
Removed.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm again, shout out to Nate Pilmer, one of the best dudes out there in Fantasyland, helps me run the GOAT leagues, and as active as they get. He hates the word upside, but dude, if there's one thing our team is oozing right now, it's some serious upside.
Well, it's the Ricky Bobby. It's the if you're not first, you're last.
Here, let me do a quick rundown just for if we, hopefully we release this audio, for our listeners. And shout out to all you guys, downloading the audio, man. You guys are killing in the downloads. We just did 100,000 downloads, which is just insane. So shout out to you guys. Awesome. We started Najee Harris in the 8th spot. We followed up with Kyle Pitts, tight end premium. We went DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Devontae Smith, Brandon Ayuk, and then we just bookend it with Jalen Hurts as our QB1 to hashtag always be stacking with Devontae Smith.
Do you know what, JD? The Ayuk was absolutely a panic pick, but actually I kind of like it. I've talked
as our wide receiver 4, it's money, man.
As the draft has gone on, I liked it because we had that Lance. We had that outside shot at the
like. I don't want him as my wide receiver 2. I don't want him as my wide receiver 1. But as your wide receiver 4, I mean, it's beautiful.
So JD, I have a clear number 1 preferred player, and he just happens to be number 2 in the queue.
No, you don't have to convince me on him, dude.
Is it just like if he's on the clock, we'll just pick within 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we only have one running back. Are you good to continue? Because I like smashing wide receiver through here. I just want to make sure that I said it out loud. That way we're on record as
Yeah. No, I'm told I don't, there's not much that I pick here unless you go,
number 4 in our queue would have been the only guy I would have said, like, let's make an argument for. But
yes,
I agree. Easily replicate him elsewhere.
Agreed.
Hey, Wheeler, good suggestions. Having said that, there's other people watching this, so maybe you keep your suggestions in the Twitter.
Where's Wheeler's? I'm having issue with the chat, man. For some reason, I can't scroll all the way down. I don't know why. I don't see Wheeler's comment.
You are on the clock.
Okay, so our number 1 player in the queue was taken. However, he wasn't number 1 in our hearts. So
yes.
Tony just went, but we're going to take Rashad Bateman here.
Yes. That's why I've got him I'm loving Bateman this year. He's such good value in the underdog drafts as well.
Yeah, I think my guess is that shifts in the next week and a half or 2. I think his ADP is going to be pulled way up to where it should naturally settle. Probably. Agreed. If I'm looking at this board, I bet a week and a half from now, I can't take Ayuk there. I think that we've got to take Bateman there in the 6th round is my guess. But maybe a guess, and hopefully that's not a self-fulfilling prophecy. So got my mic. You know what? This is great. I like seeing the board here. I'm not worried about only having Najee Harris on 1 because again,
but that's why I was saying. That's why I said once our top 3 picks were gone, I was like, you know what? At least if we take him, then we can go long at other positions and just ignore it for a while. Yeah.
So I think that we've got 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 1 running back, 5 wide receivers. Rashad Bateman is wide receiver 5, JD. That's
what I love doing. See, now you can this is where I'll start playing value, looking at, what's falling, where I want this team to go, what I'm stacking, not stacking.
Yeah. We really are wide open at this point. We can go in a number of different directions.
Exactly. And that's what's nice about this kind of build. That's why I love getting enough receivers early and then just touching those other positions so that you're not desperate, and there's definitely enough depth at those other positions as well. I might start. Where are we right now in the draft? So Claypool went off. Yeah, I might. So who you have at the top of the queue.
Yep.
That's the position I would look at maybe.
Oh,
depending on who's there. That's kind of the first thing I'll be looking at.
Can I be?
I'm gonna throw another name in the queue right now.
Interestingly enough, if our top guy in the queue is there, I wonder if we just take him in the 9th.
I don't hate that at all. You want to know why? Because he ties in with someone else we took.
Yeah.
That possibility.
Yep.
And that would be just a deadly.
Oh, hey, I'm with you on that. You know what's sneaky? That's about the most cryptic thing we've said tonight.
we're getting good at this.
But I'm with you.
We're getting good at this.
That was a good. That was a good one.
All right, I'm gonna grab Brewski. Why don't you let people know where we're at, what's going on?
Goodness,
I'll be right back.
I've got to drive the ship. All right, end of the 8th round. One guy we took off the board, JD was referring to, is Deshaun Watson. Team 2 just took him as his 2nd quarterback there. Just a recap of where we're at. I think we did that a couple times this round, but maybe bears repeating. So we started Najee Harris. Top 3 picks that we would have preferred. In terms of what would have been reasonable was Travis Kelce, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. All three went 5, 6, 7. So we took Najee Harris, number 8. On the wraparound, Kyle Pitts was a big pick because, again, talking about clearing the decks. Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Clearing the decks and just allowing for, the wide receiver smashes and these middle rounds, I think was like of, strategic importance to us. And then we executed on that. Next 4 rounds, we went, rounds 3 through 6, we went DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Devonta Smith, Brandon Ayuk, a number of 2nd to 4th year, maybe DJ Moore and Chris Godwin are 4th, 5th year players. I got to start thinking about that from a dynasty perspective. I mean, slightly old, but I still love them there. Jalen Hurts, we took in the 7th round as a lone quarterback. We had a stack options with both Lance and Jalen Hurts. Lance went right before, 2 picks before. I think from a stacking perspective, that would have been really interesting with our Brandon Ayuk pick, which I took full responsibility for better or worse. And then I love the pick in the 8th round for a 5th wide receiver, Rashad Bateman, in the 8th round. So wrapping around back to the 9th, we still only have one running back on the board. And JD, you're back. And guess who's not panicked about not having a running back? Me. I think I love our build. And I think what's going to be great is, the other teams will start to have to load up, I think, on their wide receivers. And I think that's when we'll just be able to hammer our quarterback, our tight end, and our running backs.
Well, at this point, you kind of want to look across the room. The only reason I'm looking across the board is not because I'm trying to snipe someone or block them or whatever. I'm trying to look at where my advantages are and where my disadvantages are, right, compared to the rest of the room, just looking at the quick colors.
Yep.
And that receiver, I mean, there's not too many teams that are as stacked. I'm out of breath because I ran like a mofo for that one.
Interestingly enough, JD, and we're about to be up, so maybe we should talk about that. But look at Team 3, and we can come back to him. Through 9 rounds, not a single running back. Really interesting. Really love it. I think in terms of the structure I'm in, and then, of course, we're here in late February, so who am I to question the players? If I was doing that structure, I'd probably have different players. But love the idea of pushing something different here in late
Surprised
February.
our number 2 came back to us.
Yeah, it's making me think, JD.
I know. But we could go. Wait, let me just see what we have at the 1 position there. What's left?
Yeah. So the 1 position, the ADP is somewhere in the 10th round.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The min pick for that player is early 8th. So we're in the range of where we need to take them. JD, I want to take player number 2 because I think that we can make a good bet on one coming back. And I'll just say I had Drake London and Garrett Wilson queued up in the queue as well, wide receivers. I think this is probably a good divergence in wide receivers, JD. So that's where I'm at. I'm either 1 or 2.
I think 2 is the move, and that's hashtag on brand. I mean, he's a JD. How can I not love a JD, man?
Yeah,
he's literally a JD.
JD, yeah, AJ Dillon. So we're gonna draft him. We're gonna get off the clock here.
Just do it.
This is great. This is still. You know what I love about this? We're not an AARP team. Love that we've got some youth to this crew. I love that we got some explosion. So I'm loving it.
Aaron Hernandez in the
good Aaron Hernandez.
The
Peanut Punch Aaron Hernandez.
That's Peanut Punch.
Yep.
There he is.
Team 11.
Let's look at Team 11.
Team 11, for my liking, probably needs a lot more wide receivers. Not this round or the next round. So don't start doing that now.
This guy's giving advice to our opponents.
Probably needs a little bit more yellow for my preferences. JD, I love that we got JD on the team.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think it's perfect in that spot too. We kind of bookend a good run of receivers.
And actually, I was thinking, JD, as we only had 1 running back on the board through 8, I was thinking structurally, hey, if we probably push it another round or 2, we probably need 5 running backs versus 4. But I think the beauty about getting AJ Dillon is I think he still leaves us an outside shot at doing 4. Now, I'm not going to push you on that now. I'm just saying, as I'm thinking about what we'd have to do structurally to make up for decisions, or not make up for, basically just have to navigate the structure there. I was thinking we were veering into 5 territory, but I think AJ Dillon keeps options open for either 4 or 5.
Exactly. I literally wrote on my whiteboard kind of what I was hoping we'd do today. And I wrote a 4-5 at the RB. Yeah. And that's exactly when I was looking at our, kind of what we had in the queue.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that gives us now, because we're trying to, basically you've got your RB1 and then you're just trying to fill your RB2 with a bunch of guys. Yeah. But Dillon almost allows you to have those 2 spots locked in. And then now it's more like you're looking for a 2B as opposed to like a 2 that's going to interchange in there, right? You're just looking for guys to fill the gaps for when AJ Dillon doesn't give you that RB2 or better.
Yep. Round 10 started double Tyler.
Well, if one comes back to us, okay. So if one comes back to us, that's strong. But I also love the 3 to really strengthen the what we just talked about. That was so bad. That was so bad. So all right, we'll get to Austin's question. I threw Austin's question. I'm bad at doing that. I do that during the show all the time. I'll throw a question on, then we'll talk for 20 minutes, and then I'm like, oh, forget it. I'll just take it off. But we will get to Austin's question.
Hold on, before we're almost on the clock. Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, Stevenson. That's what I was thinking, because we could have double tapped running back here, and that would have really given us the 4 build. So good pick by
negative. I'm gonna have to keep scrolling up and down if you ever want to talk about somebody's name. So we reached the point where I got to move the draft board around and give everyone seizures.
Oh shoot! I just realized I'm still on quarterback in my queue, in my looking at my list here. So
now you are on the clock.
Yeah, I mean,
so here's may I give you another avenue? We've got 2 players in the queue. I think the second player would also allow us. Like, I think either one of these positions kind of locks what we're thinking down.
Allows us to do what we want to do. But so keep that in mind. Look at each
I don't
position.
think about either, because I think there's an outside shot we get.
Well, just look at the positions. Which one do you think you're, comfortable with?
I think I'd rather go tight end, to be honest with you.
I'm looking at the list and I 100% agree, because otherwise you're looking at 3 tight ends minimum. Whereas now you have the flexibility.
I want to take this guy and I want to be done.
Just do it. Take Kmet.
Yep. So we just drafted Cole Kmet here, end of our round 10, since we only have 1 pick. But again, so now we've got 2 tight ends on the board.
And I didn't even I just noticed, like, I wouldn't have even hated Ertz, just that Kmet gives you more upside.
Yeah. Okay.
But Ertz is another sneaky tight end, FYI. Like, he can even be your tight end 1.
Yeah, I think he can be tight end 1 if you're going 3 JD, or an aggressive 2.
Yeah, depending on if you go Ertz and then double tap with like a Nerve Smith or a Kmet, I don't mind, man. Like, if you look at the numbers last year, and right now we're just like, I'll try to pull up maybe Ertz, but Ertz is I feel like he's kind of undervalued right now, just in general. And then you put him in that offense, you take away some of those targets this year. I mean, I don't see why he doesn't build off what he did last year in Arizona. Meanwhile, I'm saying all this while he's still on the board.
Who? Which? Sorry. Yeah. It was when you were talking. I was thinking, I was staring at Irv Smith's name, who did go, and I was like, oh no, they took Irv Smith. I was like, okay, no, it's gone.
Aaron Hernandez, like, he needs the advice sooner. He wants to. So okay, let's go to that question. Do we have time? Yeah, we have time for it next week. Right?
This is the time.
So Austin is asking, if AB goes to Baltimore, is he the wide receiver 1 on the team, or the second actually after Andrews? So my question, my answer, I'll let you answer this, Andrew, but just real quick, AB will never be a wide receiver 1 on any roster he's on, because he's not dependable.
No thanks on Antonio Brown.
Yeah. I don't, Antonio Brown and Deshaun Watson are 2 guys I don't even look at in drafts.
Yeah, well, you were gone. Watson got picked, and I was saying that was the guy we took off the board.
Yeah, I rather not deal with it. It's not worth it for me. There's other options there. So we're on the back end of the 10th round. So far, any rosters surprise you? I know you wanted to go back to a roster.
3. 3 has now taken their second quarterback
before any running back. So is this one of the ship chasing guys or ship chasing, RotoViz guys?
Could be. I'm gonna try to do some owner search here.
What's the name on that? I can't see the board for some reason.
No, I know. I gotta.
Oh, is that the Uber guy?
Uber.
Oh, okay, that guy. Yeah.
Uber, never too early. But you know what though? In this, so this goes back to my KFFC point. Kevin Scott asked me.
Look at the Shiva getting me excited with some A-Rob going to KC.
Yeah. What was? Kevin Scott asked because I did like a 0 RB build in a redraft, which I mentioned at the top of the show. It's like, hey, are you confident in the running backs you took? It's like, no, I'm not confident at all. But the thing is in redraft, I can make up for any mistakes, and I just know that I'm going to know more information in September than I am in. Where are we?
Well, your story doesn't have to be perfect in redraft or anywhere where there's a waiver wire, trades or any of that involved. But best ball, you literally have to basically go through and your story needs to hit, because when you start trying to fill up gaps that might not hit, that's where you're limiting your upside.
And Jameson Painter, Team 3 is in the chat, so shout out to Jameson. I mean, I like the build. The thing is I'm not confident enough. While I like ZRB, I think in a best ball, especially this early, I feel even less confident about my ability to get and again, redraft, I can make up for my mistakes, right? And I think that's like the whole point is we're not perfect. We're not great. But I've got time to course correct with a loaded wide receiver crew. I can make changes during the season. I think in best ball, while you are going for 1% outcome, so I understand the strategy. Like I'm not knocking the strategy. It's just me personally, I just don't feel confident going for it. So you know what, JD, we lost Trevor Lawrence there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I see who you have lined up there.
I don't know if I love that. I don't even know if I love it.
I kind of like this stack right here that I just threw on there, because we can even make, actually I just had an idea.
Yeah.
That number 2 there, we can add his captain later on.
I think that there's more interesting wide receivers than
okay.
If you don't,
and we don't necessarily need to hit that position right now.
So quarterback, if you
I got another one that I just threw on. That fits really nicely with what we're doing.
You're gonna have to say it now. We're gonna have to out ourselves.
I've got Gainwell on there. Just with Hurts, he was catching the ball pretty nicely. You know really, I like what I saw from him towards the back end of the season.
I don't hate it. This is our first. Didn't really think about it. Pick. Go ahead and you take him. I don't see him in the queue, so you'll have to grab him.
All right. I took him. We're down to 10 seconds. Again, kind of going with our whole strategy, going super thin at running back position, trying to make it a 4 RB build.
Yep. Yeah, I think that this Gainwell pick here in the 11th kind of has me locked into like 4, looking at 4, and getting out. And
it fits with the stack with Hurts and Smith. I think it's a perfect tri-stack because again, we were seeing him get targets in that offense.
Yep. I added a third player to the queue. I'm not totally in. I would say that if we want to go quarterback, just to say it out loud, I think we probably got to do it this next round. Otherwise, if it's not this round, I think it's like a total punt in terms of the next time we go to that position. And I think it might be early for these guys anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now you see like a cluster of see now it kind of gets ugly. You can find some actually there are a few good names. I'm definitely glad we took Komet. I will say that.
Yeah, me too. I think it was a good pick. I wish we could have gotten Lawrence there just to lock that up. But I think locking in tight end made a lot more sense there.
Yeah, but I look at the quarterbacks right now, and there's at least a handful of guys that I don't mind if any of them make him back to us. We just take him. Yep.
Okay. So I added.
I don't even hate this guy or this guy. I know you're not a big fan of the last guy, but just Or no, actually, no. Yeah, actually, because we have the other guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
This guy because of the other guy.
This must be like the most interesting podcast or show ever to listen to.
This is better for YouTube than it was.
The thing is, though, I'm looking at the guys in the chat, and they know exactly what we're saying. They know exactly what we're talking about because we're all degens, man. They're all degens just like us. It's end of February and we're drafting like our life depends on it right now. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. So we're 4 away in the 12th round. We just took our third running back. We've got 2 tight ends in Pitts and Kmet. We've got Hurts at QB. And we've got 5 receivers: DJ Moore, Godwin, Smith, Ayuk, and Bateman. So,
interestingly enough, I think I'm interested.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. These guys are listening.
Yeah.
Double tap.
You know what? I think I kind of like it's one of the top 3 in the queue. I think we do it, and I think that we move on.
I feel like we go number 3, dude. And I'll tell you why. Because again, you're telling a story, and for that second piece to hit optimal in this story, this dude's gotta also be vibrating.
My worry is he might get drafted over. I think it's a class where there's a potential for you don't have to be early in the NFL draft to be.
Yeah, but why would you not take advantage of having a guy like him there in order to help grow? Yeah, man.
If that's the story that I'm in, so let's do that then.
I'm looking at what's left. I mean, Zach Wilson is always an option.
Yeah.
But for me, we took Pitts in the 2 spot
for a reason.
And for Pitts to have a good season, in my opinion, Matt Ryan has to have what's his name in KC right before wow, brain fart.
Yep.
Alex Smith type of season. All right, I totally see that from Matt Ryan.
We're on the clock, 30 seconds. So Matt Ryan's ADP is mid, or this will be his mid pick. But I'm looking at the board, and I think that Team 1's obviously going to take maybe a quarterback in this round, or maybe he pushes it. So do you want to go Matt Ryan and just move on with quarterback?
Just do it. I like the 2 guys we have above him, but again, it's all dependent on your build, right? And for me, he fits our story nicely. He's a good RB2, or QB2. He's dependable as long as, like you said, nothing crazy happens, but again, even if they draft a rookie quarterback, I don't know that they're rushing him out the door. They should, for everything he's given them, at least let him, like you said, he seems like the guy that would groom, like Drew Brees type of action.
Yeah. I gotta remember to pull this thing down. Okay. So 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, 3 running backs, 5 wide receivers. JD, are you thinking?
I think we take all these quarterbacks out of our. Oh shit! I just took out someone. See, it's really slow for some reason. What you're doing in the queue is really slow to show up on mine. And then I went to cross off a quarterback, and it knocked off. I'll find him. I saw who it was.
I got him back in there, JD.
You got him back in there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think this is good. I mean, not to make people worried about what we got going on, what we won't do, but we got 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends through 12 rounds. Do you think this is something that we may be done with both of those positions?
100%.
Yeah,
that's the reason you do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like I'm 100% out. It's just like I'm leaving the tiny window in case something crazy falls, but I'm really not paying attention to that position, to those positions. I'm focusing on, kind of like what you have in the queue right now.
Yep. I'm gonna make an absolute mess in the queue now.
Oh, this is the part of the draft where you want to make a mess.
No, good.
It's like you just had Taco Bell the night before, you went drinking,
Good.
Hey, do you deal with mice at your house at all?
Mice.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. You were about to do an advertisement?
No, I'm not at all. But
play along.
the reason I ask is this morning my office is like behind my garage, so it's separate from the house. I got to walk through the garage to get to my office, and I'm walking in. I come in here at like 5:30 in the morning, go back in around 7. When the girls are up, and I hear this like noise in the garage, and I'd set up these 2 mouse traps, like they're newer type of mouse traps I'd never used before, and I'm like hearing this noise, like moving around. I'm looking and I see one of the mouse traps moves. Anyways, the next morning I come in when I came back in the garage, I hear the noise again. I'm looking under my car and I see this mouse with his head stuck in the trap. He dragged this thing across the garage, and his whole body is moving while his head is stuck in this trap. I'm like, this is the worst possible trap. It's like making this thing suffer. And I'm like, my wife's going to work, and I've got the garage. She opened the garage by accident. I'm like, why are you opening? I don't know. Like, what? So I look at it. I end up taking my daughter's like shovel, and like, I'm like, beating this thing just because I'm like, I don't want it to suffer. I feel bad.
Yeah.
So I went out today and bought all these new traps, and just I'm like, yeah, those traps need to be taken off the market, man. It's and then I go look at the other one, the same one that I set up on the other side of the garage, and it went off, but there's nothing in it. So it's like either they get away or it's like not really killing it,
Oh my! You're just making them suffer. You're putting them in like a torture chamber.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
So good.
All right, we're near fields and stuff. That's kind of why we got them every once in a while, especially right now. It's super cold. So, that guy, I like Jacoby Myers. I think he's great value, especially if you pick up a guy like Mac Jones and you stack those guys late.
All right, JD.
Coming out. Oh, wow. You just like vomited all over the.
This is in no particular order, by the way.
Well,
I kind of like number 12. But I also like number 5 to clear the deck of another position.
I really like 5.
Okay, let's go 5.
Just because we just took his teammate.
We did.
And I really like at this point of the draft making decisions based on that. Number 10 is a guy I love getting in anywhere I can.
Yep. So I think to me it's number 5, and then I say it's wide receiver time.
Yeah, do it.
Ah, shoot, we got sniped.
What? Oh, shit. We totally did. God damn. You think he's...
Okay. That's okay. Rick, recover. Do you like any of the wide receivers on the board? Because I think that we can wait on running back for...
Yeah, I mean, I like number 2 that you have in there.
And actually, I just added a number 12. Can you confirm you've got a number 12 in there?
I can't see a 12. But we have 40 seconds, so it's
Hold on. I'm gonna ping you in our private chat.
Let me refresh. It's all good.
Ping the private chat, too.
No, we're good. I'm at 25 seconds here, and I've got 12. Yeah, you know what? I liked him like at a point, but now I'm just over it. I moved on.
Okay, so you want to go running back?
I like number 2 or number 9, 2-9.
I'm gonna go 9.
Do it. Don't hate it at all.
Wandale Robinson. You know what's so frustrating is I would never have thought. I'm looking. I need to look at this. Hold on, Yosemite.
No, I think it's a good pick for him. It's his 4th running back, kind of the same thing we're trying to do. He's
we've done the same thing. We've done the same thing. Good pick. Ugh, that one was frustrating.
Wheeler's like, I was gonna jump in, but I thought I'd be asleep by now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wheeler. He's a teacher, just helping the you guys down there, just educating the U.S.
Ugh.
What?
I wish we had gone Herbert. That sucks.
No, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's true.
You got taken ahead of you. You're not going to take him around prior.
True. Well, Wheeler says he would have, allegedly. That's just revisionist history on Wheeler.
I don't see it. I don't see the... All right, so end of the 13th. We're moving into 14 now.
Yeah. Okay, so now I've got a number of guys back here now, and I kind of like the idea of... I mean, you tell me. I think we can push the issue with running back. I think, because I think actually maybe 9 and maybe like 9 and 10, since you didn't like 11. I think 9 and 10 interest me a lot here. But if you want to go 2, I'm in on 2. I think either way, we may be setting ourselves up for having to go a 5th running back.
Oh, I definitely like 9. I think 9 is a great value.
9. Yes, I don't know if we get him. I think that 9's almost something where we.
What was the other numbers you said?
No, I don't know. Who knows what I'm saying? No, I said 9 or 10 or 2. 9, 10 or 2.
I like 9 or 2. 10, I don't know what it is. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
And I get it. I totally get it.
Good pick, Austin. Flash that up on the screen, JD. Once your computer finally loads. Austin Eilers is hopefully I'm pronouncing that last name right. Is Team 7.
Oh, is he?
Sniping Herbert, yeah.
Nice. Bastard.
Yeah. Hey, can you block him from the YouTube too?
Yeah, like the Mr. Ukraine over there, or whatever, Russia, or I don't know what that was.
Yeah. Shout out to our Western European listeners.
I feel like we get one of those in every YouTube. One of these here, click on this link, and it's all this porn or whatever. All right. So George Pickens off the board.
You are up next.
Yeah, I mean number 2 still there, and number 9. So I mean,
I'd almost rather go number 9. I think no. I got. Hold on. Stats and information research real quick here.
Do it. You got 50. You're good.
We on the clock?
And we're not even on the clock, so you're good.
Oh, good. All right. So number 9, his ADP is around.
Oh, yeah.
14.
I keep forgetting to look at that.
His ADP is around 14.
Yep.
His min and max is pretty big though, so we're probably in the killing time there. And then the other guy, his ADP is 15. So we're basically it's probably at one or the other, and if we end up getting both, it's probably lucky. So I think it's one of those things where we'd have to make the call. To me, I think 9's clearly better.
Now you are on the clock.
Let me look at our roster build for 1 second here.
Yep.
Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I don't want to wait too long at the 2 position just because we're still doing the, But
I know.
But I also see where you're coming from.
You know what? If we take Rashad here, I'm not holding you to it, but I think I'm really on the only 4 running back type of mold.
But that's what I'm saying. If we wait too long for that 4, then we're stuck. We might have to throw a 5th.
Okay, let's go 2, even if we're not totally convinced. But I love the idea of this guy right now.
Well, because he's our 4th, and he's he's the joker. He's the wild card.
Okay, I got him. So we drafted Rashad White out of, and I'm going to get this wrong. Arizona State.
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure.
Pre-combine, locking in, running back 4, round 14. So should be a good one. Damn Austin Eilers for taking Khalil Herbert. I think that would have been great. But also, I don't think we would have gotten Wandale. So it's one of those things where do we like our 2 rookies here or Herbert?
I love getting rookies this time of year, man, because in my opinion, especially these 2 guys specifically, I could see their ADP moving up quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do this time of year, especially in these tournaments.
Yeah.
I'm really liking this roster. This is definitely look, the quarterback's not sexy.
No.
Especially the number 2, but we've all seen those vet quarterbacks have that one top 5 type of, you know what I mean? And Ryan is that guy. If they bring in the right pieces in Atlanta and he feels the pressure of the young rookie quarterback, if they do bring one in breathing down his neck, I mean, to me, he's the type of guy that'll, hopefully shine off of that.
All right. I made more of a mess, JD, in the queue, but it's all good. Just names galore.
Let me go back. I'm not, I need to widen this thing because. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. You littered the queue.
Littered.
Yeah, that's not bad. But we're not up for a while, right? Yeah, it's coming back.
No. Half these guys are going to be taken. I like that William Fuller pick there in round 14. I think that was the one. Actually, JD, we can talk about him now that he's gone.
Yeah.
I suggested him, gosh, maybe in the Matt Ryan pick. I don't think you like that suggestion there. The Will Fuller. And maybe it was early for him, but I don't think.
Well, I'll tell you why. I was on Fuller before the whole like juice thing. Like I was on him. He was crushing. I had bought him at such a value.
Yeah.
And then it was like, on top of all the injury stuff that we had dealt with, now he's got this new thing, and it's like I'm like a 3 strike you're out kind of guy. Like, what, after that, it's like Watson, like once it's figured out, maybe I'm going to pay more, but I'd rather pay more and know what I'm getting as opposed to like invest in these pieces that I have. There's a very good possibility that I'm getting a 0 from. No,
that makes sense. I'm going to get a lot of 0s. If you leave me to my own devices, I'm going to pick a bunch of dudes with 0s here.
So we're kind of up in 5. We're in the 15th round.
What's our build right now, JD? We got two quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, 4 running backs, and 6 wide receivers.
Yep.
2, 4, 6, 2 so far.
Yeah. And I mean, our plan coming in was to do a slim running back room. We went 4.
Yeah.
Maybe we had a 5th. Maybe we don't.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who's to say?
Exactly.
JD, what I like most about what you said was you said plan.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we planned. Hey, there goes the guy that we were talking about, Curtis Samuel. I think that was a great pick by
Yes.
Oh, Shiva.
Yes.
Great.
Curtis Samuel is definite value, I find, in these, like, he's going around 15.
On the clock.
Yeah. All right, JD.
All right,
I think that, to me, it's not that sexy, but really interesting is player number 8. But I could also go 4 because maybe he has more sexy appeals to him.
You know what? I'll let you decide for this one. Because I feel like I've taken you away from, like, either picking the 8 and then number 4 I know nothing about. So it's,
you know what? I'm gonna go 8, even though he's not very sexy.
I don't hate it because we just went rookies back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay to be unsexy sometimes. I think what Van.
So give me a quick a quick blur on, like, what's your reasoning behind, because you've been promoting Jefferson for a while.
Well, so on the Rachaad White pick, it was, for me, was thinking Will Fuller, which we had already nixed previously, Curtis Samuel or Van Jefferson, and I'm just thinking at the point where Van Jefferson would have been up wide receiver 68. I just think that the Matt Stafford, if he's back, and I don't see why he'd retire, right? Like, yeah, I think he's actually, let me use comps from the same school. I don't know if they totally play. He was another unheralded prospect out of Florida. Now, totally different profiles, but similar, like the Kadarius Toney. It's one of those things where everybody hated Van Jefferson coming out of the rookie drafts, right? Similar to how we hated Toney. I think Toney's obviously a better player here. I think ADP shows it. But I think it's one of those things where I think he got hated on for being older. But I think the dude just looks to be a technician. He was getting open. He was getting looks in the Super Bowl. And, I think that there's something to be said for that. And I don't know what that team looks like. I don't know if Woods is totally healthy. And I think that there's opportunities on that Rams team for targets. And I think he could easily be the wide receiver 3 there, especially wide receiver 76 overall. I mean, I think that's the answer.
Yeah.
So kind of took you on a winding road, but I think it's one of those things where, at least I'll admit from my perspective, like, one, I hated him because he went to Florida, right? Just strike 1, but 2, right? He was, like I said, he was an older prospect, and I think he kind of got, dumped on. And he wasn't the complete dud. I think he's been a serviceable player.
Well, he never really got. I mean, they had the 2 studs, and then when Woods was out, they brought OBJ, and it's kind of one of those things where he was just kind of filling blanks for a bit, but he did show flashes. I don't hate it. I was just wondering why, what your, so I definitely agree with your thought process there.
Now you are on the clock.
All right. So we're up. Your dude that you wanted to pick last round is still there at 4.
Yeah. Do I know anything about him? No, but he's getting Twitter buzz. And you know what, JD? That's good enough for me. So I'm only picking him on a kind of Twitter buzz.
Do it.
You like Twitter buzz?
No, but I mean, at this point, we're in the 16th round, right? Out of 20. This is our wide receiver, what, 7, 10, or
Wide
8?
receiver 8.
8. So again, you're looking for upside. You went Sky Moore. Why not a rookie at this point? You know, what's your thought process? What do you like about Moore?
You know what? There are people smarter than me out there in the world, and it's important to recognize that. And so I'm seeing Sky Moore buzz, and I don't know, where his ADP moves to, or just like, the steam happens, he ends up like a 12th round pick or a complete dud. But I think that I'm willing to gamble on, seeing the ship chasing guys, seeing some of the draft experts be really interested in Sky Moore if he gets an early round 2 draft slot. I think that he's got room to move up, especially us grabbing him from round 16.
And that's what you're looking for, right? In these, especially these tourneys this time of year. Okay. I love it.
And Jameson nailed it, right? It's like if he's taken early round 2, right? Like pick, in the 40s, 30s, or 40s, like the 16th round is going to look stupid here, like in a good way, right? He's going to skyrocket 4 rounds of ADP. If he gets an absolute dump of a grade, right? If he ends up sliding into like late round 3, if he's actually a day 3 pick, I think that round 16 will look stupid because he's like totally off the board.
Who'd the Shiva just take? He's saying here's a JD.
JD McKissick.
Oh,
round 14.
I'm not on Trotman. What are you talking about? All right. So end of the 16th, going to the 17th. We got 3 rounds left. What's your like when you get to these last rounds? Are you just looking for specific guys? Are you looking for value falling at all? Like or are you just kind of stuck on your positions, like saying, you know what, I'm just sticking to the build that I want. I'm going to add another,
That's right. It's players that I like basket of players that I like within the position that I want to go. And so I'll give a great example. And again, going back to there's people smarter than me.
I like number 5-6, by the way. 6, a nice sleeper in the FA realm. Ooh. And number 5 with the new coaching situation.
I still believe in 5.
Yeah, same.
And maybe we get both of them. Who knows? Or neither. No. So JD. This is a great example. Like right now, late February, those are 2 Andrew guys. To where I'm in these rounds, and until proven otherwise, or if there's there's wisdom in crowds, right? There's wisdom in people who are smarter than me. And if I get moved off of either one of those players, I'm happy to be moved off of them. But until I am, they will be kind of like the late round guys that I go to if I'm looking for that particular position. So I think to answer your question, I've got a handful of running backs that I like in this range, handful of wide receivers, handful of, whatever, tight ends.
Just depends what you're trying to do.
What depends I'm looking at.
Go to that pool.
Yeah. But I, just like everyone else, it's important to be a sponge, learn, adapt, synthesize all the information. And hey, if this was just an idiot pick in late February, that's okay. There's plenty of drafting months left.
And if you're not doing that, you're not getting it. You're not getting better. That's.
I like. I think we went. Excuse me.
So we're 5 away.
Yeah, I like the Keyshawn Vaughn and Tyler Algier. Algier. Man, it really looks like Algier, and I think I've forever been saying Algier, and I think that's just wrong. I think it's Algier.
I think it's Algier.
Crazy,
because the EIER.
Yeah,
and I'm French, so what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, I actually, interestingly enough, all 3 of these guys, Keyshawn Vaughn, Tyler Algier, and Trey Sermon,
yes,
are all 3 in my basket. Of players that I like.
I think Trey Sermon could be a serious value.
I agree. I think. Yep.
I love guys that just, I know that's against all the data and guys that don't necessarily do a certain thing in their first year, but I just feel because of the scenario in that offense, and I just think he can definitely rise from the ashes.
Yep. So I like the idea of going 3 or 4 here, and I think that kind of leaves us open around 20.
Easily.
Either do a running back or a wide receiver.
So what I would do in deciding between those 2 is, does 3 or 4 help stack one of our wait, let me go back to the draft board because I can't see the one that you've got on there.
Am I too small? Am I making a mess over here?
You're too small, but I'm Just going by what your wife told me. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. I wasn't supposed to get out.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it affects anything there.
No. One has a significantly later ADP than the other one.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Decision maker.
Third player, while I like him more, I think has a later ADP by almost 2
number 3 does.
Number 3 has a later ADP than number 4.
Wow, I'm wondering if FA has to do with that.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Just don't say the other one that we don't take because it might come back.
Right. All right, so we're gonna take Byron Pringle right now.
Yeah, free agent, and I got his moment on the NFL All Day or whatever, and I was gonna sell it like for peanuts, and I'm like, you know what, this guy might sign somewhere decent just being on KC, and he had his moments. Who knows?
Yeah, you know what I love about these rounds and being quote unquote done with running back, even though I'm like I said, round 20, I'm willing to go to another one depending. I love that we're not having to take, and I'm not trying to be mean to West Coast CK, but I love not having to take Raheem Mostert and Justin Jackson here.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean, but those are players that I just don't want to feel obligated to be taking because of something I did structurally earlier in the draft.
And that's why, I think as much as you want to be fluid and go with the draft, like we talked about at certain positions, I think it's super important to have a plan, man. It's like anything you're investing in, you want to have a plan. You want to, have an idea going in, and then, you adapt to anything that changes, that might change your approach. But you got to have a plan, man, when you come into these drafts. All right. We're into the 18th now. So 2 rounds left.
So I just pinged you something in the private chat. Are you able to look at that real quick?
Oh, that's good to know because he's coming on. Isn't he coming on next week?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll make the pick and then we'll remind the peeps.
Are you okay with
oh, same. Yes, I see what you just said there.
Yeah. So he's interested. Yeah, he's interested in somebody already got off the board. I'm wondering if we can get the guy I pinged you about and even the original guy in round 20. Well, I guess actually we got plenty of picks left.
Yeah, I know. Every time, because you keep scrolling with just at the, so I'm like, are we in the last round? So we have room. So whichever one you think goes early, you check the.
Okay, so, you know what?
You check Fantasy Mojo.
What's up? Yeah, I'm
Mojo.
I'm on Mojo. Let me check ADP. I think the number 3 still.
Man, we took Mr. Wan'Dale Robinson a little early, but that's all.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But you know what? I again, these rookies, when you're getting the later rounds, there's no.
They both have later round ADPs. I think that the one I just mentioned is a little bit after, but that's
I'm like I said, take whoever you think.
You know what? I'm just going to take another rookie. Another rookie. Making a draft capital play. So it took Jalen Torbert. This is one, and again, maybe JD do a little guest prepping. We have JJ Zacharyson on, and he does his
next week next week.
Next week, and he just did his wide receivers who produced like studs model podcast. Great podcast. Obviously, much he's really respecting the biz, and a couple of the guys he talked about were Jalen Tolbert and Sky Moore. So again, using other people's research and being smart and getting better myself. Tolbert's been somebody that I've been keeping my eye on. I think 18th round is probably slightly early, but again, to use some I think Austin, you said in the chat, right? It's a total draft capital play. If he gets the draft capital, then 18th round is going to be really low, and we're going to have a great value. And if it's like a total dud, then it's an 18th round pick anyways. So.
Austin likes our Rashad White pick.
Well, I like his Khalil Herbert pick. And you know what, Austin? I wouldn't trade you Wan'Dale and Rashad White for your Khalil Herbert and Michael Gallup.
So, take that.
Yeah.
All right. So
So
Man, if two comes back to us, that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah. Then we're gonna have to come up. Then we're gonna have to make up a name for the last round pick.
Yeah, I mean, are you like specific to a position? You want to stick?
No, I think the beauty about round 20 now for us, JD, is I think that we are really open for. Oh shit! Actually, we're gonna have to scramble because Brian Edwards was taken there. Wide receiver 92 by Gambit. We gambled there a little bit. Brian Edwards. Sorry, JD.
Yeah, no, it's I'm just trying to look through the list right now, see what's left that we can hit a home run here.
I'll add one that's kind of off the radar, and you can tell yourself a story about free agency with number 2 on the list as well.
I don't see it too.
Well,
oh yeah, I mean Dan loves that guy, and agreed with the whole QB situation. He's definitely a guy that I throw in every once in a while. Let me do a quick check real quick. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really that's, super fitting with our build. So I don't hate that as a last kind of dart throw.
Yeah. I know it's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not super exciting.
Yeah, I added a number 3. How about that? Even though I think that number 3 is a free agent himself, which the only benefit is being close and tied to a quarterback there.
I'm not seeing. Oh no, we're not. Yeah, we're not there for a bit, right? Yeah, okay. I'm not seeing a 3. Here, let me do a quick. All right. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, that's I actually like that.
Oh, you do? You like 3? You like 3 best?
It's not that I like him best. I think he's very similar to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any association with either one of those offenses in our roster yet? No, right? No.
Oh, and there goes Shiva taking the Dan's guy. How interesting. Took KJ Hamler there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shiva, Dan and I are in a, chat, and that's what happens, right? You talk names. He's
so definitely. Do you like? We're on the clock. Yeah, we're on the clock. Do you like 1 or 2 or sort of somebody totally off the board here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with 2 just because we kind of said we wanted to do a certain build.
Yeah.
This is another guy I would throw on there. Another guy.
We'll talk names because, if you're like slightly more passionate than me, then that's just like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Lazard on there and Callaway again, kind of going the other direction with the KJ Hamler news. Thinking, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like that.
Lazard. I like the Lazard idea. If you're passionate on Lazard, then I'm in.
I'm not passionate on anyone in the 19th round of a 20. You know what I mean?
Let me be
7 seconds.
Yeah. Be like
done. Oh shit! I got an error. Oh no way.
Who'd you take?
I took Lazard.
Nice. Interestingly enough, JD, I was clicking his name too.
Is that why I got an error? I was like, why the fuck did we just get the running back? Because I do like that running back, but I really wanted us to stick to our that was the one.
I'm moving him down the queue just to make sure.
Okay.
So do you have a wide receiver you prefer?
No, I mean I know 3. It's one of those. He's a big question mark. Yeah, I mean Lazard gave you 4 top 24 and 2 top 12 in 15 weeks.
Oh, I have a great suggestion. Unless.
I know exactly what you're gonna say. I think
I added a number 4. I actually feel like an idiot. And if he gets taken, I'm going to be kind of kicking myself.
Yes, I like that. He's another guy I throw in there every once.
That was kind of stupid. This just goes to show I love live drafts because we literally live on camera making these decisions. You can see some of the thought process. This is a panic pick. This is not a panic pick. the guy that we just threw in the queue is like so obvious, like after the fact.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? Do you know how many drafts I've done where he doesn't even get drafted?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And I agree. He's like your, anyways, I'm not going to say anything because
we're gonna get sniped somehow.
Yeah, at this point, it's let's wait till we get him because it,
we're gonna get the old 20th round snipe, JD.
But I do like the number 3 that we have in there. Just like if you're looking for that position late,
yeah.
Oh, I think that's money.
You know what?
AB just went off the board. Another guy I'm just staying away from. Shout out to Peanut Punch.
Well, when you only have 2 wide receivers through 8 rounds, you got to.
he's like your wide receiver 3 in round 20.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's all good.
That's awesome. Shout out.
I
mean, look, Peanut Punch is in here drafting like daily. So
we're on the clock.
All right,
JD, this is obvious. Obvious pick.
Just do it.
Quez Watkins.
If only Hurts could hit him in the end zone. I mean, it'd be money.
Yeah. It's so dumb to be so happy about Quez Watkins.
I know. Because like I said, there's drafts he doesn't even go where I'm in. But, I mean, we have a nice Philly stack. We got a nice Atlanta stack. You got to go with those under-the-radar stacks in these kind of drafts,
We really, you know what I love is we got the Hurts, Smith, Watkins, and Kenny Gainwell.
Yes.
We can truly define it as we got a stack, JD.
Yeah.
No one can quibble that we just got a pairing. We got a true stack.
Oh no, we got a duplex. Like we built like a little 4-story stack here.
All right, JD, this is great. How do you want to close this out?
Let's go through it. Let's go through the roster real quick. We were in this 8 spot. We went Najee. I'm going to go by position. So we went Najee in the first round. We wanted to keep it slim at the running back position. We didn't tackle it till the 9th round for the RB2. We took AJ Dillon. We came back 2 rounds later to Kenneth Gainwell. And then we capped off the running back position with Rachaad White with a little rookie upside. Tight end in the 2nd round, we took Kyle Pitts. Round 10, we took Cole Kmet.
And pause there, JD, right? So we did 4 rounds, 2. And the beauty about us going in the tight end early was it allowed us and felt comfortable that we didn't have to get more than 2. I think like advice and structural, right? I think in these slims, I think you either got to do 2 with 1 super early or 3, but all of them
late. 100%. That's exactly how I kind of see the position. And then even quarterback, like we didn't go with one of those early top tier guys, but we kind of both agreed that Trey Lance and Hurts were kind of the end of that tier. Tier meaning who we'd want as a QB1 with this build. And look, we'd picked Devontae Smith in round 5 as our wide receiver 3. So now we've got the stack with Hurts. So we went DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Devontae Smith, Ayuk, and then we put Hurts as our wide receiver 5, Bateman in the 8th. AJ Dillon as our RB2, like I said, in the 9th, Gainwell in the 11th as our RB3. Rachaad White, I already mentioned. Our QB2 in round 12, Matt Ryan, not super sexy, but remember, we picked Kyle Pitts in round 2. So if we're going down that storyline, you got to think that Ryan has a good season, feeding Pitts the ball, and he's grooming that rookie quarterback. Wan'Dale Robinson and Rachaad White back-to-back rookies in round 13 and 14. Van Jefferson is a guy that you're big on in these later rounds. Out there in LA in the 15th round, Sky Moore. I mean, you were deciding basically between Jefferson and Moore, so you got both your guys. I'm like, have fun, Andrew.
And I can't wait to pick JJ's brain about Sky Moore and Jalen Tolbert next week. Again, that's another plug to that podcast.
Yes. So Byron Pringle, we talked about free agent. He showed some flashes in KC. I mean, he lands in a good spot, 17th round for a guy that maybe goes as a receiver 2, receiver 3 in an offense. You think they might bring him in as a receiver 2? I don't know. I guess it depends where he goes. Tolbert, Lazard, and Watkins to close it out. Quez Watkins again to kind of 4 stack our stack with the Philly offense there.
JD, I love it. You know what I love most about it is even though you said the word plan and we didn't do much planning, I think it was just we just knew that we were interested in the four to five running backs and then just build around there. I think that we really executed a strategy with those like first 2 round picks, Najee and Kyle Pitts. And if we didn't go those 2 players or those 2 colors, if you will, running back, tight end, I really don't think that we could have truly executed the 2-4, whatever the math on wide receivers was, 2 strategy, 2-4-X-2, if you want to call it. And I think it was all totally dependent on how the draft fell and us just saying, hey, we're going to go for it in round 1 and 2 and just build from there.
And I think that's how you have to approach these. You have, like I said, you have to kind of, talking out of both ends of my mouth, I guess, is like, you got to have a plan, but you got to be fluid and you got to be able to adapt. But, if you think about our quick conversation, you say we didn't prepare, but if you think about our quick conversation, the things that we said we had as our goal today, we accomplished all of them.
That's right.
And I think we built a nice roster, especially this type of tournament. I love it, man. I love this roster. This might be one of my favorite ones so far.
Golly, this is great. Yeah. Well, and I think JD, I don't know if you want to go through all the teams here. I think it's kind of tight, probably in terms of sharing the screen. But what we'll do is obviously we'll share the pod, we'll share the YouTube, like, subscribe, download, leave a comment, leave a review, all that good stuff, obviously. But we'll do JD, right? Is we'll share the draft on Twitter, right? Yeah.
What I'll do is tomorrow I'll tweet out a link to the show and I'll attach the draft board to it, so you guys can have a look at it. Whoever's out there in Twitter land, they want to look at it, they can maybe come watch the show to get the input. But yeah, we'll tweet the draft board, guys. If you're listening, make sure you check out the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to be doing these a lot more often. Like I kind of hinted at, we've got this amazing partnership with the FFPC. Obviously, we play on there often, and we have a new relationship that we're building with Underdog. I just kind of like Dynasty and Best Ball complement each other. I feel like the FFPC and Underdog complement each other nicely for myself as a player. And that's kind of what we want to bring to you guys. Just, some benefits of joining through those platforms through us. Your way of showing your support for the show. Smash the like, guys. We don't ask for anything, man. We do this for fun, and we hope we help you guys out in Fantasyland find success. But show your support by smashing the like, smashing the subscribe. Andrew, this was a blast, dude. We I think we did something good tonight with regards to this roster. Any final thoughts before we close this out?
No, I'm going to make it simple. We're playing the rake, you guys. The game's not going to go away. We're playing Who's the Rake. We'll do it on Twitter. It's my favorite thing. And as the Chasing the Helmets guy pointed out, it's actually the kiss of luck, if that's a phrase. I think everyone we pointed out as the rake last year probably ended up taking down the league. Yeah. So we're going to roast you on Twitter. We're going to call you the rake now, and then you can be laughing at us as you rake in your money later on and dunk on us. Perfect. We'll end on that. Guys. We'll, like I said, JJ Zachary's tons of VIP guests lined up for the rest of the offseason. Make sure you stick around. We'll check you all later.
Go District. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, I ball. Bleed, ball, and I bleed, I ball. Yeah. Bleed, I ball. It's the Go District, y'all. I ball, cause I bleed, hey. Bleeding, I ball, defeated the odds, didn't see him at all. JD in the pods, I needed it all. I bleeded a lie, you bleeded a lie, not bleeded a lie. And that's what I go do. Facts, let me show you. Happen to know dudes. Draft and they don't do bad and they don't lose. Make you wanna bleed. It's the Go District boys giving you the business and no gimmicks. The best ball drafts got me feeling like it's Christmas. Then it's Christmas all of a sudden, and these riches came from nothing. And I got this all from loving the district. See, I just drafted, forget it. I laugh at the critics, they mad at the digits. I clap back by listening. See, ballin' ain't a problem if you kick it with them off. And I refresh the feed till autumn, then I bleed, go.